I'm currently standing at the base of Museum Hill here in Santa Fe, and there are 5 attractions right here on this road. We're going to start at the Santa Fe Botanical Gardens, which is on one side of the street, and on the other side of the street we have 4 museums. We have the New Mexico Heritage Arts Museum, we have the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture, the Museum of International Folk Art, and the Wheelright Museum of the American Indian. Now, how is that? You can make a whole weekend up here in this area, so I'm going to show you what to expect here. All right, we're going to walk through this incredible gardens. It was $15 for adults. Kids are cheaper. Here are the prices on the screen, and then of course you can become a member and then not have to pay the admission fee. But we're going to do a quick walkthrough today. It is quite beautiful. They open at 9 a.m. The museums open at 10 a.m. So if you want to come up here early, it would be great to start here at the Botanical Gardens and then head up to the museums afterwards. Do you hear that bird? It has the most beautiful sound. I'm going to try to film it. See if I don't scare it off. I just love it. When you get into the high country of New Mexico, the junipers are very common and they have a very distinctive smell. It reminds me of camping. Wow, it smells amazing. I'm gonna guess that this is the pinon, and actually people grow pinon nuts and eat them. And then this, I think, is the juniper over here. Tell me if I am wrong. I very well could be wrong, but that's my guess. Now, I am here at the end of May, and I would say that May is the most beautiful time of year for wildflowers in New Mexico, especially in the Santa Fe area. And what's nice about this is it's in a natural landscape. It's not all manicured gardens. Now they do offer guided tours here. There's a group that's going through the guided tour. If you're interested in that, I'm not going to join that today, but just know that it's offered here if you're interested. Talking about a pollinator garden. Keep the bees happy. Now this bridge was built in 1913 for San Miguel County by the Missouri Valley Bridge and Iron Company. It's 62 feet long, 16 feet wide. Oh, and look at how beautiful this is with these art pieces along the walk. Beautiful gazebo here. Kind of gives you a nice overview of the whole park, and then you can see the museums up on the hill up here, which is why it's called Museum Hill. So here it is. It talks about the 2-needled pinon pine and the 1-seed juniper, and then the part of the country. So I guess this is the juniper here, and you can, these little juniper berries you'll find on them. And then this is the 2-needle pine with these little features on it. And I think that's what I found, I think, on the pinon tree. And here is where you can find it. So really here in the high country of New Mexico, Colorado, the Four Corners area, it's very prominent. And it's such a wonderful smell. A lot of people are allergic to juniper, but it smells fantastic. Nice little structure here. It's just on the other side of the bridge. I'm basically just walking back. Okay, all in all, it's a little steep price-wise. It's kind of small, but it's pretty, and they have to pay people to maintain the gardens. They have to pay people to work in the shop. So, given all that, and we're in Santa Fe, which is a pretty expensive place, expensive cost of living, I think it's worth it. Now, one more thing before we leave to the next stop. Right here at the entry, they have this little display showing all the different types of flowers that are in bloom right now. So this is pretty cool. So if you want to learn about the various wildflowers that we saw today, you can find it all right here. Now, one of the things you need to know here in Santa Fe is the elevation is about 7,000 feet. So you might get winded, and it's also, the sun is actually very, very direct, so you can get sunburned really easily, but you will see beautiful blue skies and no air pollution. It's gorgeous. So we're gonna head up the steps and see what's up here. Now, I've lived in New Mexico most of my life, and I'm ashamed to admit that I have never been here. It's just a reminder that when you live somewhere, you take a lot of the tourist attractions for granted. I see somebody making some beautiful pictures here. Look at this. Beautiful art garden here with shade. It's so gorgeous. And there's another special event setting up right over there. Now here's a map of where we are. So we're right here. I guess the visitor center is in this little building and doesn't appear to be open. And then let's see, over to the right is the International Folk Art Museum with a walking labyrinth through here, fountain in the center. And then straight ahead, we have the Laboratory of Anthropology. That's pretty fascinating. We have the Native American Garden and the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture. And then here's the path that I found, Museum of Spanish Colonial Trail Art down here. And then there's a separate spot for the Wheelright Museum. All right, let's start at the International Folk Museum. Now this is a really, really large museum, and Santa Fe is known for the Folk Art Festival, a big event that they have in the plaza. I'll have to look up what time of year that is. I'll have information about that festival down below, but it's where all the artists come and sell their art. It's a really big event here in Santa Fe. Here are the prices. General admission, $12. New Mexico restaurants, New Mexico residents, $7. Now, one thing you're going to want to know is it is free for New Mexico residents on the first Sunday of the month. So if you can work that in your schedule, that's amazing if you're from New Mexico. And if you're not from New Mexico and you want to do, or if you are from New Mexico, I guess it doesn't matter. If you want to do a grand tour of up to 30 museums, you can buy the Culture Pass for $30. And it includes a whole variety of museums. Again, I'll have that information down below. This museum holds the largest collection of international folk art in the world, numbering more than 130,000 objects from more than 100 countries. There are temporary exhibits that rotate every few months. This is what we saw when we were there. And there's a very interesting permanent exhibit in the Girard Wing. And just look how enormous this is. Holy cow. Wow. I love these. Look at all these little guys. The Indian Parade. Now this reminds me a bit of a place called Tinkertown. All the miniatures. I'm not going to show you everything that's in here because it is just too enormous, but just look at the quantity and variety. There's a whole city in here. Wow. I love these masks. That's pretty amazing. Now, when I first walked in here, I thought that he was the artist of all these items, and I was just astounded. But it turns out he was a collector of folk art, and he collected well over 100,000 items and gave them as a donation to the state of New Mexico. He was actually from Florence, Italy. So there, you can tell there's collections from all over the world, and miniatures were his favorite. This cool store here, where they sell a lot of the beautiful art. Look at these cool candles from South Africa. Just gives you an idea of the kind of things you're going to see here. Oh wow, this is really cool. This is a really pretty restaurant they have here, Museum Hill Cafe. Beautiful little restaurant with a really nice patio for a bite to eat. And next we're going to the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture. Boy, that's beautiful. Start here in the Contemporary Art Gallery with some very interesting fashion. And this museum was also free for New Mexico residents, and I did see that they were offering free admission for military families through September on any day of the week. This is beautiful. This is interesting. The Museum of Indian Arts and Culture in Santa Fe is a leading institution that's dedicated to preserving and showcasing Native American art and cultural artifacts. The museum chronicles the rich history of Southwestern people, spanning from ancient times to modern artistic expressions. There's rotating exhibits, educational talks, guided tours, artist-in-residence programs, and various learning initiatives that take place here. Look, this is the Grand Kiva at Chaco Canyon. And here they talk about the special carving, the sun dagger at Chaco Canyon, which illuminates on the summer solstice.
A wall display relates the sun dagger to the ancient ruins in the canyon and surrounding area, establishing an intricate cosmology.
They have a mock Pueblo house, they have a mock teepee, and they have a mock trading post in here. It's really neat to see. Here's a Pueblo house. Now, I thought this was a kiva. It's a Pueblo house. Go on the trading post. Weavers and jewelry makers. A lot of the shops in the Santa Fe Plaza are very reminiscent of this type. The Hamas Trading Post founder, Jack Toya, and his wife in front of their first home in Albuquerque. That's cool. The Wheelright Museum of the American Indian is closed on Sundays, so I made it up on a separate occasion to check out this museum. This museum has a fascinating origin story that's centered around preserving Native American ceremonies and religious traditions. It was founded by Mary Cabot Wheelright and Justine Claw. I apologize if I am mispronouncing that name. He was a Navajo singer and medicine man. The museum's original purpose was focused on ceremonial and religious preservation. It was started in 1937. It was called the House of Navajo Religion, and they were creating a permanent record of the songs that were used during Native American rituals. Claw feared their religious traditions would be lost because of the missionary efforts and the actions of the U.S. government. I highly recommend you tour this museum with a docent. I followed along and the stories were so interesting. This room reflects the architecture of a traditional Navajo hogan, and it was the inspiration for the design of the 8-sided building. Today, the museum has evolved and now it showcases contemporary Native American art more broadly. They also have a tremendous collection of Native American jewelry, and it highlights the differences in techniques that are used between the various tribes and the changes in economic conditions that drove changes in their art. I learned so much here. The Wheelright Museum maintains its commitment to preserving and presenting Native American cultural heritage, making it New Mexico's oldest nonprofit independent museum. Now for our last museum, there was a little bit of confusion. The signs here led to the Museum of Spanish Colonial Art, but the map called out the New Mexico Heritage Arts Museum. It was originally the Spanish Colonial Art Museum. It turned out that originally the Spanish Colonial Art Society had a collection here since 1928. They opened as a museum in 2002, but in 2024, the name changed to the Nuevo Mexicano Heritage Arts Museum. Now this museum houses one of the most comprehensive collections of Spanish colonial art with about 3,000 objects spanning from the Middle Ages to the new millennium. Admission here is free. Now I tried on 2 separate occasions to visit and they were closed both times. So you're going to have to check this one out for yourself. For more information on Museum Hill and many other attractions in Santa Fe, come on by my website at swiftytravels.com. I'm working on making that a great resource for you. Thanks for watching this week's series on Museum Hill. There is so much to see up here, and I'm going to have a series of other videos from the Santa Fe area, so be sure and subscribe. You can check out the playlist. I'll have it linked down below.